All right, another episode of Goldbelly Gluttony, and it was only a matter of time before my newfound fondness of Goldbelly intersected with my passion for pizza, and today it intersects in a huge way. I have one of the best pizzas in the country, and what some people consider to be the best frozen pizza in the country. I have Luminati's. Not Illuminati's, Luminati's, and if you're a fan of the Chicago deep dish scene, you know that this is a perennial contender for the best Chicago deep dish pizza. If you follow the channel, you know that my love for Chicago deep dish pizza has recently been rekindled. I went there last year with the Giordano's, and it changed my mind of what Chicago deep dish pizza could be. I won't name the exact pizza that disillusioned me, but if you follow the channel, you know that there was one. But anyway, Giordano's has rectified that, and I'm back on the Chicago pizza fervor, and I got Luminati's. Now, unfortunately, I have never been to the restaurant yet. However, I had the next best thing. I had the restaurant come to me via Goldbelly. So today we are doing pepperoni pizza, and this thing is huge. This thing is like a couple pounds. So I got this via Goldbelly, and I believe it was around $100. They go for about $25 a pizza. And normally I'm unboxing a box, but I had a mishap with my previous video, and that footage is gone. But it's all right, we'll redo it again today. There was one benefit of doing that video last night is that I have some experience with the pizza. I already have some preconceived notions. I'm gonna see if those notions are confirmed today. And I also have some insights I want to share. So let's see what's going on with this pizza today. This is the pepperoni pizza. And again, it's hefty. This whole thing is about 2,100 calories, but when you're talking pizza, who's talking calories? No one really. So what you're supposed to do is obviously unwrap it, and then it comes in a tinfoil type of tray. And what you're supposed to do is peel it back like this, and then if there's any condensation, ooh, this one's has some crust that broke off just a little bit, not a deal killer. And what you're supposed to do is take out the pizza, like so, and as you can see, it's a little thinner than what I'm used to for Chicago deep dish pizza, just a little thin. It still has that thick wall that really defines Chicago deep dish pizza, but compared to a Giordano's or others, I mean, I've seen others that have walls twice as large. Even the Giordano's at-home pizzas, the one they ship across the country, the wall was considerably larger than this one. So we'll see how this thin crust pizza compares. You can instantly see the layering on it. It goes cheese to pepperoni to sauce. So the layering is a little backwards. In fact, it's completely inverse. But what you're supposed to do to set this up is that we don't have the pizza out of the pan. You're supposed to wipe down the pan for any condensation, like so. Okay, so you get the pan nice and clean, and then you spray it down. All right, you spray it down like so, just like that. And then you put the pizza back in there. And then voila, that's it. Preheat to 425. And this particular pizza says to cook between 40 and 45 minutes. I'm gonna cook it between 45 and 50. I just know from doing a few of these that it's better to err on the side of a bit overdone than underdone, because it always sucks to put that Chicago deep dish pizza back into the oven. The cheese pizza from last night, which was very cheesy, maybe the cheesiest pizza I've ever had, that was only 30 to 35 minutes. So you have to pay attention to what it says on this wrapper right here. So right here it says 40 to 45 minutes, and it will vary depending on which pizza you have. So that's it. The oven's already preheated. I'm gonna get this in the oven, and I'll see you back here in about 45 or 50 minutes. All right, the pizza is here. My entire house smells like Chicago deep dish pizza. You know when you have just an impeccable pizza, an amazing one, a rare one, where the smell is almost as good as the pizza is? That is this. My house smells like a Chicago pizzeria. Okay, let's get into this thing. Here's a pro tip for you. What I usually like to do is cut this pan off. If you try to get it out, the pan is hot, it's in there really tight, it's difficult to get at. So what I like to do is just cut this pan with a scissors, and it cuts very easily. And that way, you know, if the crust is a little flaky or a little sensitive, you're not going to disturb it and break it. So you can see it just kind of peels off like that, and then you can kind of slide it out. You can hear that the crust is a little crunchy. I put it in there for 45 minutes. I did not get to the 50-minute mark. I started to see the tomato sauce just get a little brown here. And I don't mind if it gets a little singed or a little burnt. I like that. It gives the pizza some personality. But when you see it happening in a couple different areas, it's time to get that pizza out of the oven. Okay, so let's slide it out, and look at this. Nice rigidity on it. All right, nice rigidity. let's cut this thing open and see what it looks like. All right, let's take a look at that cross section. Okay, so you can see it's reverse layered. It goes cheese, pepperoni, and then sauce. So it's an inverse layered pizza. Look at that. Look at the steam coming off this thing. Oh, it smells so good. Let's cut it into quarters. I mean, I could just eat this whole pizza as it is. No cuts or anything, but let's be civilized. Let's be somewhat elegant here, and let's cut this into quarters. So, I like it when the Chicago deep dish pizza just flakes off a little bit. This crust is delectable. 45 minutes at 425 might be the sweet spot. That was an amazing pull. That was just the crust. All right. Oh, look at this. Okay. Let's cut this one in half and see what this is going to look like here. Look at that stretchiness. All right, let's go in for it. This is gonna be like hot metal, lava. So I had the cheese last night, and unfortunately did not get to see that video. Just one bite in, I'm telling you right now, the pepperoni is better. Just has a better dynamic flavor profile. The cheese was too cheesy. Great crunch on it. Yeah, 45 minutes is perfect. So last night's cheese pizza was overly cheesy. Even though this is a little less gargantuan than your typical Chicago deep dish, it's a little thinner. The walls are a little thinner. The crust is a little thinner. It's a Chicago deep dish. The proportionality on the cheese from last night was too much. It was too much cheese. And I'm a cheese fanatic. I'm from Wisconsin. There's always cheese in my refrigerator. I'm like a mouse, man. I love cheese. The one for last night has had too much and overpowered the entire pizza. I couldn't taste the crust and I couldn't really taste the sauce. This gives a nice, harmonious blend to everything. Everything is coming together in concert. So you look at that. That is a thing of beauty right there. This is a showstopper. You know, this is why you keep a couple of these in your freezer for special occasions. Maybe it's a ball game, maybe it's a date night, or maybe you just want to stunt or show off, or you want the X factor for a perfect time when you're entertaining. Maybe you're coming back from a night out and you want to throw in a pizza to impress somebody, or maybe just feeling a little frisky or a little special. This is just going to raise that cool factor up a little bit. I like having a Chicago deep dish in the freezer just because it's a conversation piece and it offers something a little different. And plus, no matter where you are, unless you're in Chicago, it's hard to recreate a pizza like this. All right, so this is slice number 2. I just grabbed a fresh slice. Great proportionality on it. And you can see the bottom is perfectly golden. Look at that. That is a thing of beauty. Just a little imperfection here, but that's okay. Again, I like those slight imperfections. But look how beautifully golden this is. Wow. 45 minutes at 425. So this piece of the pizza, interestingly, is a little different from the other one. It's less crunchy. I think it's because there's more moisture on this side of the pizza. There's more sauce, and I think this just got a bit more human, and therefore it's a bit less crunchy. It's very flavor forward on the ingredient. So last night's cheese pizza was flavor forward on the cheese, and then the highlighted ingredient on this one is the pepperoni. It's very pepperoni flavor forward. I first taste pepperoni, then I taste cheese, and then I taste finally the crust and the sauce in that order. So the sauce is really very neutral. It's not very tangy. It's not very spicy. It's not very bold. And in fact, you can see here, this is a good piece of pizza to show you. Look at this. Look at that. Proper pizza. There's not a lot of sauce on here, right? If you take a look at it, this is all the sauce on a huge pizza like this. It's not that much. You could easily have double the sauce on here, but they chose to highlight the pepperoni on this pizza. You can see the chunks of whole tomato on here, so it's very fresh. But what comes with that is, because it is so fresh, you know, tomatoes naturally are a pretty inert fruit. Not a lot of flavor on the sauce. If you're a sauce fanatic, this may not be the pizza for you. I typically just judge a pizza for what it is. You know, I got no skin in the game, just a guy who loves pizza, loves Goldbelly, makes videos so you guys can kind of just see what it's like. And if you care about my opinion, then you care about it. In this instant, and these particular pizzas, after having done 2 now, I'm gonna say that the pepperoni is the better choice for the cheese. The cheese, again, was just extra cheesy. It was too cheesy, and that's rare for me to say. I'll take as much protein and cheese on anything as I can get normally, and this one is just a bit too much. Here's the last full slice right here. You can see when it solidifies a little bit, it's got a little bit of a dangle right here. It's solidifying nicely. Again, though, this is just the only sauce that's on there, so just a little light on the sauce. You can see the crust is a little elevated right here, but if you break this top off, it's really not too thick. For Chicago deep dish, it's actually thin. So who this pizza would be for someone that likes the Chicago deep dish experience, but doesn't want that huge, hearty, bread intense meal, that crust intense meal. If you're looking for something that's a bit less crust intensive, but you still want the Chicago deep dish experience, this really marries the two. I'm gonna call this, dare I say, a thin Chicago deep dish. Definitely Chicago deep dish, but just a little thinner. For that reason, I really like it. If you are someone that watches their calories or doesn't want a lot of carbs, or maybe just wants to be able to have more than one slice, this could be it for you. So I'm gonna finish up here. These are gonna be finished up for sure. This was a delightful experience, definitely an uptick from the one from last night. I got sausage coming up on the next one, and then after that, I got a surprise for you. I haven't mentioned it yet, so I'll tell you the surprise during my sausage one tomorrow, but I have an interesting pizza from them that I never even expected. I'm not even sure how it exists, but we're gonna find out together. So I'm gonna finish this, and I'll see you on the next one.